Hi, I'm just waiting for more people to show up so we don't have to repeat a lot. I'm going to turn my phone on. Do not disturb. Okay. So who knows? You know, your phone rings when you're trying to do something that you don't want your phone to ring. But hi, Pam. I know the totes, right? Hello, Jared. Hello, Ria. Hi, everyone. Thank you, guys. So we wanted to talk about the Dateline episode. There's a couple things that really um, kind of stuck out to me, and there were some things I didn't know. Um, and then I'd love for you guys to tell me if you noticed anything that you didn't know or that we didn't know. Hi, Ash. Just wait for a few more people to get here. And then if anybody here isn't subscribed, please subscribe. Actually really helps. I know that with these kind of videos, because the news is all over it, like Dateline and Inside Edition and the local newses and NBC and CBS and all the local Foxes and everything, that when you search for a video that has to do with this, videos like mine come, they show way down the list. So the more subscribers and the more comments and all that kind of stuff kind of helps bump it up so we get more views. And thank you. Everybody gotten some really good. You're welcome, Ria. I've gotten some really good feedback so far about my videos, so hopefully you guys like them. I'm a novice. I'm literally a nobody. I'm just kind of like to be a little bit creative with those, and made them before for something else and thought, true crime is kind of interesting. And then when I came across this story, I didn't even understand it. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just make a video and try to understand it myself with the video and then show my friends and people. And then all of a sudden, it actually kept going and going and going. Oh, thank you, Ash. Appreciate that. So it kept going and going and going and going. And so now it's just going. I mean, I'm going to be making these videos until who knows? There's so much to it, rest, jury, court, whatever happens. Thank you, Pam. So the Alex, what'd you say? Alex Luskin. Alex Cox is still alive. He died as soon as the heat came down, right? Well, yeah. Yeah, he did. I mean, yeah, there's other theories out there, but I would think that they'd have to positively identify him. I mean, he's been in prison for, attacking Lori's husband, Joe, before. And so I think they probably have a lot of positive ID on him. So the Dateline episode, how it ended, kind of made me get a little bit chills. Interview with April in Hawaii was very interesting. We learned some new things about Zulema for sure, as well as some good background about what's going on in Lori's mind, Charles' character, right? Yeah, there might be. I mean, nothing surprises me in this. Nothing surprises me in this case at all. I mean, every single time you think, okay, and then something crazy weird happens. Personally, I hope the children are alive, but I'm getting a sense from everybody that actually is connected to the case. As far as how do you remember how it ended last night with Kate saying to Larry, "Why are you talking about him in past tense?" So I think, why would you talk about him in past tense? Personally, I think they might know more than we do, obviously, and I think that they may I mean, I'm just guessing, but they may know that the kids are dead. Um, but and then Annie Cushing, Tylee's aunt, she pretty much said that she believes they're dead. And even Chad's friend from his missionary days said, yeah, it'd be great to think they're hidden away in some bunker somewhere, but he didn't believe it either. Her telling folks it's going to be so bad they should put the kids in the car and drive up a cliff stays in my mind, makes me really worried most. Yeah, I mean, she said it. And in her wackadoodle mind right now, she thinks that everybody's going to be better off on the other side of the veil or wherever you go. So why wouldn't you just send them there? Well, Kay's not going to be on the other side of the veil, so they can go over there and the kids can be happily, until they do their reincarnation or whatever. But I know LDS does not believe in reincarnation, so that's all their other more unorthodox views. And the other thing I noticed from the emails that I got from people and everybody's comment that is involved with the preparing the people and the AVOW and all that stuff that they were involved with also flat out says that's not how we roll. We are not going to go kill people. We are not going to get rid of kids. We may be extreme, in our thinking, but we're not going to do that. So I haven't seen proof of anybody that would say, oh yeah, I'm going to take these kids and hide in a bunker. I mean, they're not involved with that kind of group as far as I can tell. I know there are groups like that, but it doesn't seem like that's the kind of group they're really involved with. And it would be nice to think that was happen. They can rescue them. Ear displays. Yeah, I know. Hey, that'd be nice. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like who? Everybody so far that's connected to Lori and people that Lori knows and people that know people that Lori knows and people that know AVOW and people that know Preparing to People and people that know, her podcast and everything. Not one person has said, yeah, we have, that's part of our preparing. We hide out in bunkers. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not part of that group. I just wanted to make videos to figure out what was going on. So Larry talked about JJ in past tense, which I think was ominous myself personally. And Kay corrected him. I also think when they came out of court the other night, Kay and Larry, they weren't weepy. They were in there for 2 hours. The detectives were in there. Maybe they weren't awarding guardianship, but I think they were given some information that something's going to go down soon with Lori, maybe. Also, I didn't know that they had already figured out they were trying to leave to Mexico. Like, Dateline said they had plans to leave for Mexico and they staked them out. And then when they came out, they were just like they were going to the beach. But did they just leave all their stuff? Like, did they just leave all their stuff in the hotel and take just what they needed? I mean, they were going to the beach, but Chad had a bag with a computer and stuff in it. She kind of had a big bag. They literally could have had change of clothes in those bags for the airport or for once they got in the car, got to the airport, booked it on a flight, and went to Mexico. If they were smart, because I don't think they're that smart, to be honest. If they were smart, they should just went to Mexico in the beginning. Why did they go to Kauai? The island is like this big. People are watching you now. You can't get off, which I think is good for us, for the people that want justice. As a Christian, Ash says, this case especially irritates me as a Christian because then it gives folks the opinion we are all crazy. Yeah, this is not what most believe. Right. I mean, I'm a Christian, I always wear my cross. But exactly, this isn't how it's not. No, this is radical stuff. Well, just like someone said, sports fanatics can be radical. Religious people can be extremely radical. I mean, look at like I said before, Jim Jones, Charles Manson, all these people that, claim they're God or that they're all this follow me, and they brainwash people. I mean, history shows that really happens. People take advantage. They take something solid. They take it. They kind of go on the other side of it, but they leave just enough of the real stuff to convince people. Oh, I think Lori, yeah, I think she's way overconfident too. She thinks she's going to get away with this. I mean, I can see it in her smug face. Um, I wonder if she watched the Dateline episode. I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. They went to Kauai, however, it's spelled. Yeah, we know what you're saying, Samantha, because the extradition laws, which is why Idaho won't go get them. Every state they go to has difficult extradition laws, which is less federal charges. Yeah. And I mean, I think it's going to happen at some point. People can't just be dropping like flies all around you. And I mean, yeah, like Casey Anthony, she got away with it, but it was one thing. It wasn't people dying all over the place, being taken out with threats. Like Lori has threatened all these people. Yeah, they're not going to get him for misdemeanor charges. And that's why I think they're waiting. I think they're just waiting to get something really big so that they can go away for however long, forever, hopefully. I don't know how much they're going to get on Chad. But Lori has a lot of footprints on this where she's threatened people, where she's had Alex beat up her other husband and threatened to kill him. Lori has a lot more evidence that she's the nut job here. What else? Yeah, every time Chad's with Lori, he's holding her very close, very controlling, trying to keep her from talking. I think they're both doing that to each other. It's like, it's not even like a real handhold, like, hey, we're holding hands, we're in Hawaii. They're like, it's really weird. I don't know. I wish I knew the laws better and how all that works, because I wish I knew why Hawaii couldn't do something. My question is, why can't they just take them all in a room and talk to him like they did to Chris Watts? Like, they beat him down with all the questions and told him they know stuff and all this until he cracked. I don't understand why they can't do that. Put them both in separate rooms and say, well, Chad, is going to throw you under the bus, and Chad, Lori's throwing you under the bus. Like separate them and talk to them for 20 hours or 18 hours or whatever is considered humane enough to talk to them. Right? Yeah, Kauai's best place for no peace. Yeah. And I'm sure that island is kind of already sick of them. Like, that island is considered to be like the one that they tried to keep not commercial, very Hawaii-ish. When you go to Kauai, if you picture what you think Hawaii would be, Kauai is it. It's the garden island. They can't have tall buildings. They don't have, they don't have a freeway. It's just a very peaceful, small island. And a lot of it is uninhabitable. I mean, they have a mini Grand Canyon there on the one side. They have the wettest place. I think it's either the wettest place or almost the wettest place on Earth there. And it's a peaceful island. And the times I've spent there and the people you talk to, they don't want this stuff there. I mean, if anybody's on here that lives in Kauai, I would pipe in and tell us what you think. What's the consensus over there with everybody? And especially the LDS people. What do you guys think about them being at church the last couple of weeks? It's also the most radical island. What do you mean? Pamela? Yeah, Chad's probably making money off this. Technically, no laws being broken where they are at this moment, just misdemeanors in other states. Even without them bringing the kids to Idaho, they still haven't broken any laws, right? Until we find out that somebody died of some poisoning or murder, or they find the kids, or they find the kids' bodies, or they need more solid evidence. But it sounds like they got a lot of circumstantial evidence. They did mention that too. Yeah, that would be nice if Tylee was helping, JJ with school and stuff and looking at but I think they took any access away from Chad. I don't think Lori would trust Tylee if she had her pushed away to not reach out to a friend. So I don't think that they have access to, if the kids are hidden away, I don't think they have access to any kind of internet or communication with the rest of the world here. Okay, so Chad and Lori, they can't be made to testify against each other, but if they want to testify each other, they're allowed to do that. Chad's children are quiet as mice. They are just, the last email I got from somebody said that they haven't chosen a side, but I think they have. I think they chose Chad's side, to be honest. Yeah. The cadaver, that's what I said about the cadaver dogs, would be nice in the storage unit. But then again, those storage units have been around for a long, long time. I mean, somebody could have had a grandma's blanket in there that they stored away after she died on hospice or something. At some point they might come. I don't know if they could specifically, that would mean anything. Well, okay. So first of all, Lori's been married 5 times, and I'm sorry, Chad is no prize. This is about money for Lori. And so, Chad was with Tammy for 30 years, and then he got Miss Lori show up, and any kind of dorky guy that gets somebody that looks like Lori all into them, and probably bored with whatever is going on in his marriage. He's like a little 12-year-old that has a crush on the most popular girl at school. That's just my thought. So I don't think Chad really knows that Lori is going to get rid of him at some point. He's not going to stick around. You're husband number 5, buddy, and you aren't even the best looking one, and I honestly think they might just implode themselves. I really do at some point. Right now, it's them against the world, so it's not going to happen right now. I think Lori is a sociopath. I think she's a serial killer, and I think that she is got Chad wrapped around his finger. But I also think Chad believes in all this craziness, like they're in charge of the 144,000 and all that stuff. Like they're the ones of all of us in the whole world. Chad and Lori have been picked. I'd pick someone different if it was up to me. She left no alibi for the kids being missing, no reporting them missing. I'm hopeful the kids are alive for this reason. Yeah, I mean, that's the main hope. We hope the kids are alive. Like, I would be so happy if all of a sudden there was breaking news or a news conference and they went into some house or some bunker or somewhere out in the middle of nowhere and they pulled them. Yeah, they think they're cult leaders. I think the cult is Chad and Lori cult, though. I don't think it's really a big cult. I mean, look at the friend. What was her name? Oh my gosh, I'm having a blank. Her friend said that Lori said, "Good news. Guess what? You're one of the 144,000 that I can bring to, the second coming. You get to stay." And April. And April was like, and April's LDS. April was good friends with Lori. She definitely saw a change in Lori. But you know what? I don't think the change is, I think Lori's always been a sociopath. I think she's always been a narcissist. But I think Lori, her life, the way narcissists work is whatever situation they're in, that's how they are. So when she was Charles and Charles was a good dad and that's what she was all about and that's what she wanted to be, then she was a good mom, right? I think when she hated Joseph, Ryan, she showed her true colors. She was a jerk at the funeral. She didn't even want people to grieve. I don't know these folks from Adam, but I'm up at night worrying for those kids. Yeah, and check Google daily to see if there's any news on them. My heart breaks for the family. I just can't imagine. Yeah. And my Kay and Larry, honestly, if anybody says that thing about that, I'm going to throat punch them because they are the ones that got this started. Who knows if anybody would even notice at this point that the kids were missing. Friends would be like, "Well, Tylee doesn't answer me anymore." And, she's homeschooling JJ and they stopped talking to Kay because she was mad at Kay about the money, the Charles's money. So I don't know if anybody would have even noticed at this point that the kids were missing if it wasn't for Kay and Larry. And the dog, that circle, right? Sunlighter, I circle back to that dog all the time. And the drive off a cliff, and I'm going to kill anybody in my way, and I'm going to kill Charles, and I'm going to have an angel there to clean up his body. And then as soon, and then the one letter that I had read about the zombies, which apparently aren't real, like zombies from, you know, the television shows, but are like bad spirits. So she named Kay as a zombie, Tylee as a zombie, Charles as a zombie, and I think she named Alex as a zombie too. Colby. Yeah, okay, so Colby, no sign, no mention, no pictures, no nothing of Colby on the Dateline. Why do you think that? What do you think that was about? Like, I think there might be something more to Colby. I think he might be freaking in too deep with his mom. I think he might know something. And I think when it all comes down, he's going to have to testify. Someone with a medical dog, Samantha, you don't go anywhere without that. Right. I mean, don't go on an airplane or an airport or a grocery store or, they don't go anywhere without a service dog. And I'm not just talking a comfort animal. This dog is a service dog. It's not a comfort animal. It is a service dog. That dog goes everywhere. Oh, does anybody know? Because I just saw a comment today that they said that the JD didn't go to school that day that Charles was shot. Was that confirmed that he did or didn't go to school that day? What do you think happened to Alex? Kill him or killed himself? Colby, why did he get money? Yeah, Colby was getting money from Lori all the time through Tylee's Venmo, and Colby said, oh, my mom's not very, internet or technology savvy. So Tylee would give him the money from Lori. But really? Because the Venmo, if the money had to come out of Lori's account to go to Tylee, to go to Colby, she had to do that. I mean, they could have walked her through it, but I don't think she's as dumb with technology. I mean, she's not that old. Okay, my mom's 82 and she's done with technology. I'm older than Lori and I'm pretty okay with technology. I think some people don't like it, but I don't think, she's dumb as they try to make her seem. Wonder if Alex woke up to the fact that he's been used and brainwashed and couldn't live with himself. I don't think Alex has a conscience either. But maybe he killed himself. Maybe he knew he was going to take the fall. Dateline did not mention Colby. I didn't see anything about Colby. Not a picture. Nothing. Yeah, Colby's holding something back in some way. I agree. And did Colby with the Justin Lum? Okay, so I have the raw interview of Colby. I was going to do a video on it and kind of make comments and see what he said because I only watched it once. It's kind of long because it's the raw interview, but that'll probably be my next video unless something crazy happens to put up that interview with Colby to see if we can figure out if there's anything weird in that whole thing, what he's saying. Let's see. Colby has a GoFundMe. Yep. Colby has a GoFundMe, and people do not like that idea at all because first of all, here's my opinion. If you want to be an adult, you need to be an adult. You want to go adulting, you want to have a baby and get married, then go be an adult. You know what I mean? Like, why is this affecting him to the point where he can't have a job? I mean, yeah, it sucks, but you got a kid and a wife, so go get a job. We don't need to GoFundMe you. Something fishy, but I feel like he is so depressed. Yeah, he might be really depressed, but he just needs to pull himself up by the bootstraps. He didn't pick to be married to have her as his mother, but that's what he's got. The interview with mom of Charles' kids has me. Oh yeah, Cheryls interview. And see, that says something big about Lori's character right there too, because Cheryl's Charles's ex-wife, and Lori didn't call her to say that, their kid's dad is dead. Like, does that even make sense to anyone? That's just being really selfish. And that we know Lori's selfish, more than selfish. Lori's about Lori. Yep. Or Loose Scan 88. Oh my God, about Colby's GoFund. Super cringe. Yep. Yeah, why does he have a GoFundMe? Because he needs a car and he needs money and he's not getting his Venmo, I guess, anymore, whatever Lori was sending him. So, at first, I really felt bad for Colby. Um, but as time goes on, I'm just thinking he might know more and he might be a little more involved than he is. I mean, she came over to him and said, "Oh, we're leaving, son." Okay, mind you, he's early 20s, right? "We're leaving, Charles is dead. We're going to move somewhere else and start over." And he said, "Okay." Doesn't ask, "Well, wait, Mom, what are you talking about, Mom? Where are you going? You're my mom. Like, can you give me a little info?" Yeah, he's trying to profit off this, which, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? Because honest to God, at this point, I really think it's all about money. I really think Kay's on something. Did you listen to the Nancy Grace podcast with the interview with everybody? Um, even Kay says she thinks that if Lori would have gotten the $1 million, that she would have given them JJ. She really thinks she was that pissed about the money that's why. I think you can watch the Dateline, Mariah, on, it's not up yet because I looked, but I think you'll be able to watch it. Well, if you have it in demand, first of all, it should be up in the next day or so. And also it'll show up online on their NBC website. Oh, another thing Colby said, which someone pointed out to me, is Colby the one who referred to them as those kids when they asked him if his mom would harm his siblings? Those kids, yeah. And another thing he said, oh gosh, I can't remember the exact quote, but they said something about Tylee's personality. And he said, she seems like the kind of person that would. So if somebody asked me about my sibling that you've known your whole life, right? Because they're not that far apart in age, would your like sister, what would you say about your sister? What do you think how she would react to this? I wouldn't say, well, she seems like the kind of person that would be. I'd be like, oh man, she would be all over it. She would be flipping out. This is the kind of person, your siblings, right? I mean, and it's not like it was a step sibling or a sibling he didn't grow up with. He was there since Tylee was born. Charles was taking care of most of Lori's family, but I do believe Colby is in contact with his mom. I think so too. I think he's in contact. I don't know if he knows where the kids are. I don't know if he knows what happened to the kids, but I think he's in contact. I don't like half my siblings, and I know for a fact how they are. There's no maybe they are like this. Right, exactly, Samantha. I know mine too. I know we're all different. We all came from the same parents, but all four of us are completely different. But I'll be like, oh, that's, my brother. Oh, that's my sister. Oh, that's how she would be. Or, well, no, she wouldn't be like that. She'd be like this. Oh, no, I could probably tell you exactly what she would say or how she would react to anything you asked me about her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what else is I going to talk? Okay, the Mexico thing was new, which I think was really stupid of them, but they probably should have went there in the first place. If they really wanted to hide out forever and think they were going to get away. And that shows me a little bit of guilt. Like, why are you going to Mexico now? Why aren't you going back to Idaho? Where are your kids? Now you're going to Mexico. Like, okay. And then, somebody pointed out on the comments today that Alex's marriage license to Zulema, he took her name, and also something to do with the, and I'll have to go back and look at it again, with the, what's it called when you, oh my gosh, brain fart, I need more coffee. When you die, the estate, you know what I'm talking about, right? How did the information get their location from cell phone pinging and then tell the authorities? I don't get that. Yeah, that was weird. Like, some random person was able to ping their cell phone and then tell the authorities where they were at. That was pretty good hackers people out there. The Master did an interview. Who's the Master? Thought Colby was fishy when he had sad music playing in the background of one of his vids. Who does that when all this is going on? Yeah. Oh, the pastor. Okay. Sorry, I'm like, Master Lori, Master Chad. Alex and Zulema got married same time, and placed as Lori's niece, Melanie, Melanie and her new husband. Now, somebody related to them called her Melanie yesterday, too, on that show. I can't remember. I should have took notes. And then, oh, no, it was the private investigator that Brandon hired. He called her Melanie. But people keep telling me it's Melanie. There is a Melanie Gibb. That's a friend of hers. And then there's Melanie or Melanie, her niece. So I should just say niece Melanie or niece Melanie, I guess, when we know who we're talking about. Mexico has no problem sending you back to the States. Mexico is more likely to send you back half the States. Yeah, I believe that. I think they just think that they're not going to know us in Mexico. This isn't that big. Well, now that you've been on Dateline, they might know you everywhere. I also uploaded my 6 for 6 episodes of this onto podcasts. So you can find it on Stitcher, Spotify, and Apple, and I think some other ones too. So could you do a video with all the new stuff from Dateline for those of us that don't have cable and didn't get to watch it? I love your videos. They're so well done. Thank you. Yeah, as soon as it comes out, I can take clips, because there's laws about sharing things, but news clips are kind of like this is news. Like, we're still giving news, so we can do that. I can take clips. I can't put a whole episode. I don't think I'd be allowed to do that legally, as far as like getting copyright infringement, but I can do clips. So I can take the new stuff and the clips and talk about those for sure. Because I was like, I was watching, like, I got that on my video and I got that on my video, and they didn't do like full 911 calls like we have here. They just don't have time for that. There's so much. There's probably like, how many hours do my videos add up to at this point? The 911 calls, all the documents, all the stuff like that. So yeah, he didn't know his mother's new husband's name, Alex, but he didn't know his last name. He didn't know how old he was. He didn't know we were married because he called her boyfriend. Yeah, he didn't know they were married. So yeah. And I think that's weird. Why was he taking her name? I mean, I get it. It's modern day. We can do that. We can take the woman's name, I guess. But why does Alex want to get rid of Cox? And has Alex ever been married before? He doesn't have any kids. I don't know. Does anybody know that? Could you do Yeah, he didn't know they were married. So the Mexico trip, that Dateline caught them. The Annie Cushing thinks they're gone. Larry talked about JJ in past tense. Chad's friend thinks they're gone. Colby's not anywhere in this whole thing. And Lori didn't know she was not going to get the money. So my bottom line right now, I could change. I think it's Lori and the money and punishing Kay, and she doesn't care about JJ, and so she got rid of her kids. And I think that they saw more than she said they did when Charles was shot. And I think that JJ, being an autistic little boy, if they were to question him, he probably would have known more and said more in the questioning, and she probably can't control that very well. And I think it's really about punishing Kay for her taking the money. And I also think it's about, she thinks she's a super being at this point. He does good Looney Tune impressions. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I was like, wow, is that really him? And he knows the lines like his brother Adam said. Also, no interviews with Adam, her brother. Lori's family is dead silent. I think there was some craziness about Lori's parents at some point, some kind of illegal stuff they did as far as money laundering or something. I just saw that this morning, so I don't know. I'll have to look into that one. And then don't forget, what about Stacy, that's dead, Lori's sister that Alex was alone with at the time when she died? I mean, yeah, people do die of, from diabetes shock. I mean, they do. I know people that have, but it's still a little bit suspicious when it comes to this family. Yeah, my mom's boyfriend. Yep, Samantha. Yep. I believe they seen the shooting. Kay and Larry said JJ has very good memory. Yeah, I think that maybe it was right that they put JJ in the car, but not only that, when he was in the car, even if he didn't see it, Lori and Tylee started talking, because Tylee went back in to get her mom's purse and said she didn't see anything. So Lori is or isn't there, or is there or isn't there, but then sees the body when she isn't there, but she's leaving, goes to the car, sends Tylee back in to get her purse. Tylee doesn't see anything because she goes to the garage. Oh, the storage video. I don't think it's a body. I think it's a seat. But I think, why were they moving stuff in and out of there, in and out of there, in and out of there? I think maybe in the totes there might be something incriminating. Weird about the tires. Fentanyl is serious. If we, EMS fire, get any word of a call possibly having a patient OD in on that shit, we can't even go in the scene. We have to call hazmat and get suited and booted. Yeah, you can OD from fentanyl right through your own skin. Yep. So you can kill somebody with fentanyl really easily. That stuff is, I mean, I've given it as a nurse before, in very controlled dosages in the IV. But let's see, transporting drugs and touch a person. Yeah, you can touch a person. It was a seat. They would not show a body. Maybe a mistrial. Yeah, I know. They got to be really careful what they allow anybody to actually show. I don't think it was a body. No, nothing fits the story. I think everybody's pretty amazed that they're still walking around. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, what? How can they get them? How can they not get them on all this stuff? But I think the autopsies are the big deal, if they can even get something. They did say on the Dateline last night that, do you remember them saying that they asked for, on Alex, they asked for, after the autopsy, while they're working on it, they asked for an expanded toxicology testing. So maybe they got an inkling about something and they just need more. Transporting bodies, the totes, not the seat. Seized, yeah. My stomach is growling loud. What money are they living on? Expensive highway. Oh, yeah, Tammy's life insurance, I'm sure. I mean, they said, and I don't know how much Lori had stashed away from whatever else we don't know about. Her blue SUV, can't find it. Do you know if Lori's vehicle was impounded? Her blue SUV, can't find a conclusive. I haven't heard anything about it. And do you guys notice that they're giving us bits and pieces? Like, something's kind of come out every day. Like, oh, Tylee's phone was found. Oh, this, oh, that. I feel like they're just keeping this alive. They're giving us bits and pieces, and I think it has something to do with the investigation, and that, they're watching them really closely. But I think there's a lot more. Yeah, little bits and pieces every day, something. There's been something. Yesterday was the most non-news day I've had on this whole thing since we started making the videos and watching it. Yep. And Keith and Dateline says they said there's a lot of circumstantial evidence, and then they stopped talking. They said there is a lot. It was interesting because I recently had jury duty, and the way that they explained, like, you can be convicted on circumstantial. I always thought, circumstantial doesn't mean anything, but it does. It means a lot. You can So the more circumstantial evidence they have, the more she's going to look bad. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of investigative reporters are, man, those guys, that Nate and East Idaho News, him and his buddy, and Justin Lum, Fox 10 Phoenix. Holy cow. Those guys are good. I'm really impressed with the work they're doing. And they're keeping the story alive. Them, Kay, and Larry. Most of them, yeah. I don't know about, okay, we talked about Larry's, what money are they living on? We talked about that. Yeah. So I think once Dateline uploads their video, I can do some clips and talk about this stuff that I'm talking about that was new. I also think that there was a lot in there that I want to watch again, because I think there's some hints from the things like Larry said. And I think that, to be honest, I think that, yeah, Justin and Nate are rock stars. So are Kay and Larry. Great city. Totally. This, for all them, this would be like not even that big of news. So thank you. New sub. Yay. I am going to do a Patreon, just like if you want to donate or whatever, because this does take a lot of time and stuff from my real life, but I enjoy doing it. So it's like not mandatory by any means. And then hopefully that'll keep it so I don't have to do ads when I can monetize, or not too many ads anyways. But like I said, I did the podcast. I took the same videos from here and just did them as audio and put them on podcast. So if you want to listen ever and you can't watch, they're on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher now. And I just did it this week, and I got like I think there's like 800 or 900 downloads already. And then if you do go on there, can you rate it? Like, click the 5 stars or the 4 or whatever you think it is, because that'll help too. They moved locations yesterday in Hawaii. Oh, they did? Like, where? Like to the other side of the island, or just a different hotel or resort? Rochelle? Yeah, Lori went to hair school. Well, that's probably good, because she can do her own hair right now while she's locked up. Well, she's not really locked up. But can you imagine going to a hairdresser in Kauai? That would be weird, right? Like, hi, how can I help you? Oh, can you fix my hair? I'm Lori Vallow. Did you watch Dateline? Because I'm on it. Okay, please watch all the videos on Colby at CJ Ryan on YouTube. Okay, I watched some of them. Coming on board late. What were your feelings on Zulema, whatever her name is? Yeah, spelling. She was key in the inner circle, thinking she was called to handle Alex. But I agree. I don't know how long he's known her or how close they were, but I think they put her in charge. If I told her she's one of the 44,000, lucky you, woo woo, you won. Then can you go handle our brother, because he's a zombie? Thanks, bye. A different resort, okay. I hope she could do corn roast. Yeah, right. She needs to. She's got to get the island look going on pretty soon. Go get some salt water in your hair there. Okay, thanks, Rochelle. That'd be awesome. Thank you, Alicia. Thanks. Kolbe Emotion didn't seem authentic when speaking about the kids. Yeah, he seemed like he didn't really even those kids, and she seems like Marriott at Kalapaki, Kalapaki. Marriott. That's where they're at now. Nice. Is that on the North Shore or the east side? $900 a night. Wow. Yeah, they still got some money flowing in, huh? I would love for their money to run out at some point. I mean, are they in? I don't know. Okay. I'll have to look it up. So Marriott. So when I've been in Hawaii, I've stayed in Honolulu, to Kauai. I've stayed in Honolulu, which is on the North Shore. So if you're going north from like the airports on the east, the West Coast side is very more deserty, and that's where all the red dirt is. The south is like where Poipu is. That's another big resort area. And then as you come up, the airport is in Lahui and Kapaha. I stayed in Kapaha, which is right there. There's a Marriott there. And then as you go up north and around and over the little bridges and stuff, there's Hanalei. Puff Magic Dragon song, you know, Hanalei. I've stayed in Hanalei. And then in Princeville, you go further north is Princeville. And then as you come back around, you go to like past Hunnels Beach, where the girl was eaten, like when she got, remember the surfer girl, the little girl that got bit by the shark? She's still surfing and competing. That's Tunnels. And then as you go all the way to the end of that road, there's like caves and stuff. And there's a really cool snorkeling spot at the very end. And I have a picture somewhere in my house hung of that place. It's really pretty. But then right there, if you were to, that's where it ends. You can go up and do the trail that goes all the way along the Napali coast and back into where the canyon is and stuff, where that mini Grand Canyon is. That's a couple day hike. And then, or if you go like around that side, that's the Napali coast. And you can hike along it at the top. But to go like on the boats that go out and look at the Napali coast, you have to go all the way back down around the other side of the island, the west side, and go on a boat out there. And then they go up to the Napali coast. When we did it, it was perfect day. And we were able to go in the sea caves and stuff. So it's like a big circle around the island, but you can't really drive all the way around the island. You go up, and then you have to turn around and come back, or you hike. Okay. They're living large. I can't post pics. Oh. I'll find some. I'll find some pics of that hotel. I'll post them on a video or show. What about Chad's weirdo friend who was discussing visions about Tammy dying with Chad? That says, oh my God. Okay. Julie Rowe. So Julie Rowe popped on and watched my videos, right, where she's mentioned, and she had a fit. I don't know if you saw her comments. She may have deleted them by now, but I have screenshots of them. Where did you fly from to get to Kauai? Los Angeles. Yeah, Los Angeles. And you can also fly nonstop out of San Francisco as well, if you're on the West Coast. I think you can even fly nonstop out of Seattle. So I wonder if they got rid of the children in Arizona or Idaho. Well, you know, if you've ever driven, like, I've not driven from Arizona to Idaho, but I've driven from Arizona to Utah. And I've driven from Nevada, Arizona to Utah. And then I've driven, but there's a lot of just nowhere land. I mean, with Mr. Chad being a gravedigger, maybe the stuff that they were putting all in that storage unit was from the car, so they could put his like backhoe or whatever you need to go mini thing to, make a grave. Yeah. So I don't know. I honestly, if those kids are dead, and then did you hear somebody sent me the one email? It says those kids are dead, and Lori specifically has a recording that she told somebody that they will never find them. They will never find them. And the police have that recording, I was told. So, like you said, there's more out there that we don't even know. Julie's a wacko. Yeah. And do we know who was sent funds from Tylee's phone? Colby was, brother. Chad and Lori are both packing heat, if I had to bet. Well, watch out. I hope they don't shoot Nate. That would be, but that, if they did, Nate, take one for the team, just don't die, okay? And then at least they can get him on attempted murder right on film, right? Stuff going in and out of the storage unit appears to be preparation for a trip. Extra tire, heavy bag, may have. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, like they could have moved everything for the road trip, and you can go any other cars. Well, the Jeep's a 4x4, right? So they could go right off road way back into the desert somewhere. And I know I love Nate too. Sorry, Nate. I don't want you to take one for the team, really. That's not very nice, but so yeah, okay, so back to Julie. Julie made all these comments. She's like, whoever made these videos. I'm sorry, that's just how I don't know if that's what her voice sounds like. I've heard her voice. It probably doesn't sound like that, but whoever made these videos, email me. And then she posts her email on my thing, my channel, right? And so I'm like, okay. So I email her, right? Nothing. more comments the next day, like blasting, oh, that person's a liar and this and that. And she never answered me in the email. So I was like, you know what? She just wanted to she's just trolling my page to put her email out there for people to reach out to her so she gets more views on her crap. The tire wasn't on a rim. I saw people talking about JJ's body being inside of the tire and Tylee being in the large tub. I don't know. Maybe. The tire wasn't on a rim. Could you? I guess you could do that. Big tire. You could shove somebody in there. Please talk more about they will not find the recording. Yeah. So someone sent me an email, and she wasn't anonymous, but she asked me not to use her name. And she knows she was part of I did read it on one of the last couple videos. She was part of the preparing group that Chad and Lori are in. She's a prepper. She knows them. She knows people. She said that Chad's kids are adults. They're not in any kind of cult. If Chad was in a cult, they'd be in it too. And she flat out said, this is specifically about Lori and Chad wanting to be with Lori, and Lori about money. And she said, the kids are dead. She flat out said that. And wait, what was I answering? I went on about that. So she had a friend that has given information to the police. Lori told this person, that this lady that emailed me knows, that Lori said to her, they'll never find the kids. And that recording was turned over to law enforcement. Oh, no, I just saw it popped up. There's a raw interview with Rexburg detective or sheriff or whatever he is. And I mean, little safe middle America kind of town. And even Chandler, Arizona, for being a pretty big metropolitan area of Phoenix, they seemed like they were overwhelmed with this. He was a small boy. The tire was large. And from what it looks like, a man was struggling with the tire, which don't much. And then the tub was a struggle for a grown man because looked very heavy. As soon as they put Princess in jail, this one rapper, yeah, get her in a room. Don't give her, I don't know. Don't give her some food for a while or whatever her thing is, just lock her up. Sleep, beauty sleep, whatever she needs. First 48 hours, kid bloat and leak, so no body in storage. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many people with so many tires. I don't know how big JJ was, but he's not a toddler. He was 7, so. Also members of the cult or any other. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people that are preppers, obviously, up there tied to these people and fans. But, there's a lot of connections. There's also a lot of connections, which Julie Rose says she didn't know Lori ever at all. But I had somebody do a little bit of I have a friend that worked in investigation, and she kind of did the background search on them. And Julie actually has lived in a lot of the same places as Lori at different times, and as her brother Adam. And I think there's more ties here than we know. Tylee was short. Yeah, she was only 5 feet. Hard to get permission to dig up other people's graves. Yeah. Wait, a large tractor tire, SUV tires? Nah. Okay. Need to bring cadaver dogs to the storage unit. I do believe their bodies were stored there. So sad. If their bodies weren't stored there, they put a bunch of stuff in there to make room so they could drag the bodies to wherever they needed to take them. Lex just mind blew me. What? Wait, what? I missed it. We are lucid. What? Lex just mind blew me? What I missed? She's my height. I can't fit in a tub. I can fit in a tub easy with my knees hanging over. Yeah. Right? 5 feet's not tall. But did they bring cadaver dogs in there? Do we even know that? Because the inside scoops that people say is the law enforcement knows that these kids are dead. That's an inside scoop. We just don't know for sure. But the leaks and the things and the way that the family and the members and Larry using past tense last night just kind of makes me believe that even they know more than we know and aren't allowed to say. And the way Kay kind of pulled Larry when he started to talk again, and then she pointed out on the Dateline, like, why are you using his name in past tense? Like, remember, you're not supposed to do that. That's just kind of what I'm getting from there. Please know that, Smo. Kids have been dead for over 3 months. I think they were dead right away as soon as they went missing, before anybody even realized they were missing. If they're dead, they were dead right away. They were never hidden. If they're dead, they were never hidden. They were just gone. And I don't know when the last time anybody saw Tylee. Everybody knows that JJ was last seen on September 23rd. They possibly could have got rid of Tylee sooner. Doesn't necessarily mean they got rid of them together. Like I said, maybe they buried evidence or the kids in other people's graves since they have access to graveyards and sites, and it would be hard to get permission to dig up other people's graves. Yeah. I know the mediums and the people on there, they all say the same thing, which is really kind of trippy. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't want to say that because I feel bad saying that I think they're dead, but as a trucker, a kid can't fit an SUV tire. Okay. How about in an 18-wheeler tire? Although it didn't look like that's what they had, so that's not a mute point. Okay. So, you guys, if you would please, if you're not subscribers, please subscribe. I'm going to keep doing these videos because I can get a lot of stuff that the news gets, but their time is so limited that we could make hours and hours of video here. Yeah, they're going to get better interviews and all that, but I lurk on message boards and all that kind of stuff to find information. So, yeah, Tylee was more of a threat than JJ. Tylee, I mean, can you imagine bringing her in and really putting it like, look, you're going to tell us. She's going to crack. I mean, it's just a kid. Chad refused cards and notes from the kids. Oh, really? Chad refused cards and notes from the kids at Tammy's school. They went to give him, and he would not take them. Really? That's pretty weird. Thank you, Lex. Thanks for subscribing and liking. Can't the police subpoena the GPS locations of the vehicles during the times in question? I would think they could. I'm so mad at the police for how lax they were when Charles was killed. They could have saved someone. I agree. I think that they were nice, they were professional, they were polite, but the stories didn't add up, and they should have been questioned a lot longer. And did you hear what he said? That the detective from Chandler, when they drove him home, they were talking about Lori was like they just got their car recovered that was stolen or something. It was the weirdest thing he said. Their demeanor was just strange, not like somebody was just killed. Mediums say that Tylee was cut up. She could fit in a tote. Wow. Yes. Great question on GPS, Julie. Polite isn't working now. Yeah, I know. Polite isn't working. I don't know. I know people that live in Chandler. I just wonder if any of them that know anybody that knows anybody that lives in that neighborhood. Did you see the latest interview with the Rexburg sheriff? He doesn't know jack. I think we're giving law enforcement way too much credit. Yeah. I was talking to my sister about this, and her husband's a police officer, and she was like, what? This doesn't even make sense. How can you just no? She was, so if I just took my kids and said, and you called and said, hey, let me talk to, my niece. And I said, no, they're not here. And then I said, no, they're not here. And I said, no, they're not here. She's like, I would think I'd be arrested. Where the heck are your kids? I'm worried, Lori being pretty and the cops being men that wouldn't hammer her in questions. You know what? That's a thing. Pretty people get away with stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So we're just about at an hour. So I'm going to wrap it up. Anybody And apparently this cat decided that I need to wrap it up too. Get down. Anybody have any last things or anything? All right. I mean, yeah, people say she's not bad to look at, but I wouldn't, even the best looking guy on the planet, if he's a nut job, then I have to sleep with one eye open. Sorry. No. I'm surprised Chad isn't concerned about his life, but he should be. They can do no body cases, Mariah. There is such a thing as a no body murder case. I just need a lot of the other evidence. You're welcome, Ash. Lawyers confuse me. I don't know how much they know or don't know. They just get hired to do what I don't know. Thank you, Emma. Emma Holly. Yep. Yeah, we'll get a new video up with a lot of this stuff in the comments and stuff, okay? And then if you guys have anything inside, you can always email me. The email is reapharmony@gmail.com, REAPHORMONEYMONY, harmony@gmail.com. It's pinned to the videos, and I'll put it on the other comments for this one too, okay? All right, take care. Bye.